Hey everyone, welcome to the Stoppage Time podcast. I think there was a bit of a lag before we started. Anyway, joining me now is George Alifieris and Yanni Mellis. Boys, how are we today?
Yeah, good, thanks.
Good.
Very rare that both the Bulldogs and Man United win on the same weekend. So, yeah.
it was a very weird week, eh?
Yeah.
Nah,
Yanni,
but we got
it.
How are you, Yanni?
You know what? I'm absolutely buggered and in pain. I had my second trial game for my local team, Cast Park, and it was a good game, 2-1 win. I was actually played in my preferred position, which was a good day. And yeah, not too bad. We played at next to Moore Park, or in Moore Park, the synthetic fields there. And you can see all the renovations that's going on with the SFS. And bro, it looks insane, George. It is like so steep, and the views that we're going to get when it's ready onto the pitch will be absolutely immaculate. I can't wait.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it too. And for those of you that are watching live, you can see Yanni's screen's frozen a bit. And frozen is a very common term that we're using at the moment with regards to Chelsea and Roman Abramovich's assets. Val, do you want to take us to that?
Yeah, look,
It's still frozen.
No, you're good now. It's been a very, very weird couple of weeks. Obviously, the last couple, 2-3 weeks for Chelsea. Now that we're hearing that Nike might actually pull out after a 15-year deal, they might be pulling out of Chelsea's sponsorships. Hey, look, right now I think for Chelsea fans they're hurting very bad, and I'm sure Alessio is like kicking himself right now. But look, it's
Alessio, if you're listening, we'll buy you a Chelsea jersey for your jersey. Oh shit! Oh wait, we can't.
Did you say I'll buy you a jersey for your jersey
for your birthday?
Yeah.
But we can't.
Apparently you can't. Apparently you can't buy. You can't buy anything Chelsea.
So
like
since
the merchandise
we went,
shops are closed.
Yeah. So since we last went live with Alessio, we had these extra restrictions hadn't come in place. Abramovich's assets hadn't been frozen yet, but now since the UK has sanctioned him and his assets, Chelsea's merchandise store has now closed. They can't distribute any merchandise to any retailers. The only Chelsea stuff you can buy is stuff that's already been distributed to places like Rebel Sport or Kitbag. Tickets cannot be sold, whether it be home tickets or away tickets. The only people that can go to games are season ticket holders. And so that would mean next year, for next season, if these sanctions are still in place, Stamford Bridge would be empty because no further season tickets could be sold and general tickets couldn't happen. And the biggest thing,
quick question.
Yes.
Sorry to ask quickly. With the season ticket, right? Just the tickets in general. So you're telling me that if Chelsea don't get another owner before the season ends, they won't be able to sell any tickets. So if they get a new owner, will they go back to normal?
Yes, but that's the thing. You talk about a new owner. The sale of the club, while Abramovich's assets are frozen, can't actually happen because the UK government can't guarantee that Abramovich won't be making any money out of it. So that's another massive point. That's the sale of the club has to be stalled. And I guess more immediate impact to football. Chelsea's budget for away trips is a maximum of £20,000. So that means they're probably going to have to be flying economy if they have to go to their next round of the Champions League. They're probably driving to Manchester when they have to play there. Who knows? They could be getting Uber Pool. It might be cheaper. But
look, I actually spoke to a couple of people that I know, and I do actually know the hotel that they're staying at. George, I showed you, and Yanni, I showed you before. This is the hotel that Chelsea will be staying at against Lille.
What an iconic hotel.
Now, it's
Jakobson with a very interesting stat, losing $603,000 per home game.
Look, it's not the best, but hey, it works.
If it's got a poo bowl in there, toilet, then it's good to go, mate.
Look, as
It's
long as
got
the
a.
water is running perfect, it's fine. And
It's
this is
probably
actually the team photo that they have taken already.
oh beautiful. Look at
Yeah.
that. Who's playing in which position?
So
Simon will
Kai,
probably play up.
I'd say Jay's probably the striker, just considering his form of taking kids into the pool. But yeah.
nah, but
But,
look,
but
it's
just quickly with regards to their players, they can't actually re-sign players either. All their managers that they can still pay their staff, but they can't negotiate new contracts and sign new players. So that means players like Rudiger and Azpilicueta
they
will
can't
probably be
negotiate.
walking.
Yeah,
No, they can't. So that means they'll
yeah.
probably walk for free at the end of the season, just by virtue of not being able a deal not being able to be done. And Yanni, I'll get your thoughts on this first. What do you think is going to happen with our Tuchel? Because the rumor is that me and Vow's Club are in for him now.
So can you please ask that question again? So what's in it for who? Sorry, I'm really. So say it again.
All good. I'm just going to think, what do you think will happen with Thomas Tuchel now? Because reports are coming out that me and Vow's Club United are in for him due to these circumstances.
I mean, you know what it is? It's just another situation like Conte, where if Tuchel is free to join a new club, and you guys aren't gonna like snatch up this opportunity, then my thoughts are like, what are you guys doing? Because same thing with Conte. Conte was available, he was free. Guys didn't go for him, and same thing with Tuchel. If he walks free, what do you want me to say? Like, you need to actually get someone that knows what they're doing. Just because he might not be a Manchester United manager, like a United man, like you got no one right now. You know what I mean? Like, you need someone who has a football knowledge. But crazy times.
Val, I'll get your thoughts on this now, because the difference for me with Tuchel and Conte is that Tuchel's style of football is very front foot oriented, and if executed properly, this so-called United way can be achieved under Tuchel. So what are your thoughts on that if we do get Thomas Tuchel?
Yeah, look, I would be happy with Thomas Tuchel. I mean, look what he's done with Chelsea ever since he's got here. And look, we've got the players as well. I don't want to say we've got the complete package of players, but we've got a certain amount of players that could stand, like, they can withstand this style of play. And obviously Tuchel was under Ranić as well. So look, that if let's say, for example, Ranić stays as an advisor and Tuchel comes in, I do believe that these two will work very well, and they will try to build Manchester United. But at the end of the day, you've noticed what United's all about. You know George as well, and I'm sure United supporters know that it's not just the managers, it's the board as well. I mean, you don't know what they're doing behind the scenes. Everything could be going good. The managers could be going well, and then the board could have another idea and say, you know what, we don't like this. You know, it's very weird times now. But look, with Tuchel, I'll be happy if we get him. And like I said before, he'll work well with Ranić if he stays. But look, we'll see what happens now. We don't know what's going on now. Obviously, with Chelsea, he's still the current manager, so we'll see what happens in the foreseeable future.
The interesting thing is actually Yanni's mate, Jamie Carragher, that was full on suggesting that this is a move that United should be making. But speaking of Yanni's team, you had a good 2-0 win against Brighton. Yeah, thoughts on that?
Because, well, my thoughts on that was, I didn't watch it. I didn't watch it. I was actually at a friend's party last night, and this is just the Premier League and their stupid bloody schedule times for Liverpool. More than happy to give us Monday morning games, and this is in Australia, obviously, because UK, Europe are cheering with their times, but more than happy to give us a Monday morning game at 3 a.m. But no, the one time we're going to give us a good time, 11:30, I can't watch it. But I watched the lights, and it did look like Brighton were giving us a pretty good run for our money. And yeah, all I'm going to say is Luis Diaz has got the biggest balls I've ever seen in my life. What he just went through, and to score that goal, I mean, that's what you want in a Liverpool player. Your absolute body on the line. And yeah, Salah on the score sheet. But I mean, I wish I could go into detail, but I didn't watch it. That's why I'm keeping it ethnic today, because I don't deserve to wear a Liverpool jersey in the game. But yeah, no, look, it's just another win on the trot. I think that's 8 in a row for us, and yeah, we just have to keep closing in on City until the end of the season. I think we're 3 points behind now.
Yeah, they play
Behind City,
tomorrow.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah,
Yeah.
but so then we still got the game in hand. Who are City playing tomorrow? Just out of nowhere.
They've got.
Got no idea.
Hang on, let me pull it up.
City play Tuesday morning against Palace, who actually beat them at the Etihad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's at Selhurst Park.
Yeah, it's at Selhurst Park this game. Speaking of Premier League fixtures this weekend, a fixture that brought up a milestone was the United-Tottenham game, in which Cristiano Ronaldo brought up the 807th goal of his career, making him the most prolific scorer in football history. Now, before we take this any further, I've got 3 questions for both of you related to this.
All right.
So,
Okay.
your first question is, whose record did Ronaldo actually beat? And
Okay,
feel free
I
to
know
play
this.
along in the comments.
It was I remember. It's a very old player. Very
Yes.
old player. He has. I think his last name ends with four letters.
His last name's 5 letters, but
5 letters. Yeah. Oh.
from the Czech Republic.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
it was Czechoslovakia back then, but yeah.
I forgot his name, but I saw that photo earlier before and I forgot his name. It starts with B, his last name, doesn't it?
Yes, his surname does start with a B.
Yeah.
Yanni, any clue?
Wow. Is it
I'm
Book?
gonna sound like a-
Book?
You're very close, Yanni. Oh, sorry, Val. You're very close.
Double C in his last name?
It's the C with the accent.
Bucci, isn't it?
Yeah, Josef Bichan, I'll accept that.
Yeah.
I was
Second
going to sound
question-
like. Sorry, I was going to
Very
sound like
old
I was going to sound like a 12-year-old football fan and say Pele, but my mind isn't working proper right now. But
Nah.
yeah, I mean,
So the second
So,
question,
How many goals was he on?
Bichan was on 805, and Ronaldo scored his 805th, 806, and 807th
Wow.
today.
Wow.
So your second question, boys. Cristiano Ronaldo today became the second oldest player to score a hat-trick in the Premier League. Who was the oldest?
okay.
And I'll give you boys a hint. This guy played for both United and Tottenham, ironically.
Sheringham?
Yes, it was Teddy Sheringham.
Yeah. Teddy Sheringham. Wow.
How old was
And
he?
he was 100 days older than Ronaldo, roughly.
Okay, so 37.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And your last question, boys. Today was Ronaldo's 59th hat-trick. Including today's one, how many of them have been scored with United?
Oh, well, this is all you, Val, because got no clue.
If I'm mistaken, I don't think Ronaldo scored a lot of hat-tricks with United.
I think he's only
Well, I
scored
wanna know
3.
exactly-
I think it was 3. Yeah, 3.
3?
So you're both locking in 3?
Yeah.
You're very close. Today was his second with United. His only other one was in 2008 against Newcastle.
And that
all
was
his other
14 years
hat-tricks-
later, yep.
All his other hat-tricks have been with Portugal, Juventus, or Real Madrid.
In Spain.
Wow. Yeah, see, I
Wow.
knew he didn't have many hat-tricks with United.
But
Even
yeah,
mine
Val,
was that.
Val, on the game, do you want to continue with that, on the game in general?
Yeah, I
Yanni,
actually ended up
we can
watching
both,
the
we
game.
can all have, because me and Yanni can, and Val, of course, because our favourite player, Harry Maguire, was at it again today.
He was lovely, wasn't it? What a goal from Harry Maguire.
Top cool.
But it was,
Yeah,
look, it was
prolific.
a really good game. It was a really good game. I think it's expected for United to go forward and score goals and then concede goals. You know what I mean? I think that's how United is now with our defense. But look, this game was really good. Obviously, Ronaldo showed up tonight. Scored some amazing goals. I mean, especially that long-range goal. Lloris couldn't even get to that.
That was beautiful.
That was an amazing goal.
That is a strike and a half. And that, oh
And
my
it just
God.
goes. It
Is he
just goes to
striker?
show.
I'm like,
It goes to show. Even when you chip a corner into him, he'll go for the header. There you go. All he needs is a good cross, and he'll get onto that header. And that's exactly what he did with the corner. And beautiful delivery from Tellers as well. But look, hopefully this is and I keep saying this. Hopefully this is a good boost for United. But it's the same old United with me this season. You go good, you win, and then you end up losing the week after to some shitty team. Coming off the Derby loss, we had to have a reaction. out of the Spurs game. I reckon if we lost the Spurs game, it just would have kept like it would have kept on going down from here. But look, I'm glad that Ronaldo scored 3 goals. It proves to all the haters now that without Ronaldo, what is United this season? He's saved us the Champions League spot, got us into the Champions League round of 16. He's saved us with how many games? He scored a hat-trick today. So just imagine if Ronaldo didn't play today.
But
Yep.
Val, I need to bring up this one point. But he's the problem, right? He's the problem.
Apparently, he's the problem, Yanni and George.
He's the problem.
Apparently, he's the problem. Now, this
Val,
is what I don't
he
understand.
is the problem. He's the problem.
This is
Sell
the
him.
thing. This is the thing about all the haters. Some of them, or mostly half of them, have no idea what football is. They don't know how to deal with football. And all the haters dealing with Ronaldo, saying that he's hopeless, saying he's bad, he's finished, and all that. Focus on your guy in League One. The guy can't even score a goal against a Farmers League team.
Yeah.
So, to all the Messi supporters and Ronaldo haters, keep your heads down and relax and let the goat do his magic. That's all I have to say. But other than that, it was a good game.
A point from
Agreed.
Jakobsen in the comments. Ronaldo has also scored a hat-trick for 12 consecutive calendar years, which is also very impressive. But I'll just go in quickly with my thoughts on the game in general. Yes, I do feel as though Tottenham moved the ball around a bit better than us. But Val, you watch the game? Can you tell me one clear-cut chance Tottenham had? Can you?
I can't remember. No.
All in all, I thought we defended pretty well. Obviously, minus the one Maguire incident, and just so I can get the negative out of the way straight away. The thing with Maguire at fault on this in isolation, look, it's an unlucky deflection. But the problem with Maguire is this has happened all season. And the thing I want to point out specifically with this goal is that, firstly, Maguire is so slow to turn, which means that he's in a shit position when the ball comes across, which is why he can only get a toe in it and goes in the back of the net. And the other thing I want to point up is, as a centre-back, you've got to be covering your front post when the cross comes in. We've seen twice in the space of 2 weeks he's been caught out with that. The first one where João Felix beat him to the ball against Atletico, and the second time again today where he could only get a toe on it and diverted it goalwards. And the thing is, Tottenham play was offside. If he had that game awareness, which has been lacking this season, you don't even go for the ball there. You let it run through to the Tottenham player who's in an offside position, and if they score, the flags are going to be raised.
Yeah, look, I think we're going to add Yanni back in. I think we got him back. Anyway, like I was saying, it just goes to show that you're back.
Sorry about that. I've got no idea what the hell happened there.
Don't worry, it's the bad reception here in Sydney. So for those of you that don't understand, we're in Sydney right now. It's actually absolutely shocking with reception. It's honestly very bad. But anyway, back to Maguire. Look, I really don't understand why they still play him. Yes, 80 million. The club is embarrassed. If they put him on the bench, they'll be like, oh my God, we're going to be a laughing stock because we paid 80 million for this flop. Because he is a flop. Look what he did against City. When the ball, I think he hit the post or De Gea deflected it.
No, De Gea made the save and he skips over the ball and Kevin De Bruyne is behind him.
Who, as a defender, who skips over the ball? Who skips over the ball and lets the other team just kick it in? If I was in that position, he wasn't even going fast. Kick it out. Deflect it out for a corner.
Look, let me just butt in here. But while you're on the Manchester Derby and Maguire's performance, yes, he made those 2 individual mistakes. But my main issue with Maguire in the Manchester Derby is that in the first half, when United were actually pretty decent, our front six actually pressed really well to squeeze Man City. They were actually struggling to play the ball once they were trapped in their box. But the reason that they had the out ball every time is because Maguire's lack of pace meant that he was scared to play a high line with with Lindelof. And as the leader in that back four, they were 10 metres behind the halfway line rather than squeezing on the halfway line and closing Man City's attackers and winning the ball back straight away. So instead of doing that, what was happening is Bernardo Silva Mahrez was just picking the ball up with space to turn and run at them because they were so scared of that ball over the top.
Yeah. Look, it's stuff like that, and now you understand why United are a joke of the Premier League right now. And I think they're the joke of the Premier League. Why? Because we spend money on players that are not worth it. Maguire's on top of the list. This guy, look, it was 75 million for Koulibaly, wasn't it?
Koulibaly.
75, 76.
75, 76, there was for Koulibaly, and we said no, and we started laughing. 2 weeks later, we ended up signing Maguire for 80 million. Tables have turned now.
Welcome to United.
Exactly, tables have turned now, and it's unfortunate to see that. But look, at the same time, as I said, the bloke is going to keep on playing every week, no matter what. There's no doubt about that. No matter what mistake he makes, he could score 3 hat-tricks, own goals, and he could still be playing.
Yeah.
It's embarrassing to see that.
He was City's most prolific goal scorer that game, so...
Well, there you go.
He was
You know what's funny? Because that own goal that he scored against Tottenham, it's like you said, George, it was a really unlucky deflection, and any other defender that would cop the same thing would be like, oh, that's pretty unlucky. But it is just the pure fact he's Maguire, he's a freaking slabhead fridge idiot, and he's going to keep getting game time because
and this is something
for him, and it's embarrassing to play him.
This is something that I want to mention as well, and it gets to me a lot of the times after press conferences, and especially when Manchester United players can't take criticism at all. I mean, that's something, George, you've noticed as well with Man United players. They can't take criticism. And for example, I'll give you an example. When McTominay was, it was after the City game.
Derby.
It was after the Derby game when they said that apparently you guys gave up in the last 25, 30 minutes. And he completely denied it. And he said that, I think he was like, it hurts us to hear that from the fans. But at the same time, mate.
In saying that, let's say they did give. Do you really want him to admit that in the media that they gave up? Because obviously that looks even.
Listen,
you're
I'm not
saying,
saying.
You're damned if you don't.
I'm not saying. Look, nowadays people are not Roy Keane. People don't say it straight up as it is because obviously the club will sanction them and they'll punish them for it. For speaking the truth, I think that he should have been straight up and said, I was to blame for most of the goals, and I do apologise to the supporters. Because if you saw the way Gundogan ran past him and him jogging, did you see the way he was jogging?
Oh, yeah.
The bloke was jogging to Gundogan, and Gundogan just dribbled past our whole team. That's what I want. I want to see players take blame rather than blame it on our forwards. That's what they did. Our backline and our mid is blaming our forwards for the performances. Hang on a second. You guys conceded 4 goals. And look at the goals that you conceded. Not even a club like Southampton wouldn't even concede those sort of goals. It's embarrassing to see that.
Mate, your forwards score your goals, but your defence gives you clean sheets.
Yep.
Simple as that.
So for them to come
Fergie's
out...
famous quote.
Yeah.
Fergie's famous quote, attack wins your games, defense wins your titles. But look, Val, we can complain about United all the time, but let's enjoy the positives for now. We've won. We've got Atletico Madrid in the second leg in the Champions League on Wednesday morning. And speaking of the Champions League, Yanni, your team had a bit of a scare midweek, but you got through. I'm sure you caught that game against Inter. So let's move on to the Champions League now. So, Yanni, do you want to talk about that game for us and how you see yourselves faring in the next round, whoever you may draw?
Yeah, when is the draw? Actually, I think it's tonight.
The draw will happen on Friday after we know which teams have progressed.
Okay, I was completely way off then.
Sorry, boys.
It
was just driving past. I think they were looking for Abramovich. I don't know if you heard the sirens.
Looking for your bag. Looking for your bag underneath your bed, bro. So it was a good game. It was a good game. It's just we didn't. Yeah, it was a funny one, and I'm guessing you guys want to probably talk about the whole red card thing. That wasn't a red card, but it's funny though because, you do a slide tackle, you clearly get the ball first, but unfortunately you clean up the defender's legs as well. Now, 30 years ago, 20 years ago, even 15 years ago, I'd say that's the cleanest tackle of all time. Perfect tackle, right? Now, and the Virgil van Dijk did the exact same thing in the Champions League when we won it against Napoli when he tackled Dries Mertens. Clearly won the ball, but unfortunately, he's a big dude. He followed through a little bit and collected Mertens' ankle as well. All right, cleanest fucking tackle, zero intention to hurt the player, but he got punished for it. Now, I see how that's a red card if we're talking about like the modern day football, but realistically, and us three knowing how football should be, that's nowhere near a red card. Nowhere near a red card.
Yeah.
Yeah, look, it's one of those things that, yeah, we can talk
Martinez,
about this
like
sentiment.
that was actually a cracking shot.
Oh, what a goal! Look, you can talk about, oh, that shouldn't have been
Yeah.
a red card, this, that, the other. Ultimately, it was the second yellow, the Alexis Sanchez incident. And the thing that I'm saying is, just after you scored a goal, Yanni, I agree with you. All these things, whether it should or shouldn't be a red or yellow card, because you've won the ball first, but then ultimately you're going to take out the man. The reality is there is no need for him to make that challenge. The Liverpool player,
There
I
was no
forget
need
who it
for it.
was.
No,
Yeah, the Liverpool player, I forget who it was that received the challenge.
I
He was
forgot
going nowhere.
I think it was Fabinho.
Yeah, Fabinho
Fabinho
was
or
going
Matip.
nowhere. I think it was Fabinho. You're right. I think it was Fabinho. Fabinho was going nowhere.
Yeah.
He's in his own half with his back facing his own goal. There is no need for Sanchez to make that tackle, especially 2 minutes after you've scored the goal to get you back into the tie, and you're on a yellow card. There is no need to be diving in like that because you're just asking for trouble. Val, your thoughts?
Look, you know what it is. Oh, look, I'll just say one more thing quickly. I think,
Yeah.
and I just want to give a bit of praise to Alexis Sanchez because that game he was everywhere. He was really good. But then, and look, I'm not saying I agree with it, but when you've just scored the goal, well, he didn't score, Martinez did, but when your team have scored the goal and you're coming back, getting back into the tie, look, it's adrenaline. I'm not blaming him for it, but you're a professional footballer and you have to control your emotions and just keep everything calm. You've got time to score another goal, and he just stuffed it up for the team. But you can go on, Val.
And actually, just quickly, I think Jakobsen brings up a good point here. The way that the game is policed these days, it's the tackle just can't be dangerous whether you do or don't win the balls, or reckless as well. So, and he's saying that the rest could call a lot more according to the letter of the law, which, while we might disagree with our interpretation of it, Jakobsen is right. And Val, I'll get you to continue on that. Your thoughts?
Yeah, look, I actually I watched a bit of it, and then I ended up watching that tackle that happened. I think his studs were up, weren't they?
Oh yeah, they were.
So look,
They
for
were
me,
up, but you win the ball anyway. Go on.
I think it was just like Yanni said. I think it was adrenaline as well. Like, yes, studs were up, but was it an intentional tackle? I don't think it was.
Oh no, it was. He knew what he was. I'm not going to say he. Yes, he knew what he was doing. He didn't mean to hurt the guy, but he went in studs up and he knew what he was doing.
But at the same time, like, you're 1-0 up.
Stupid challenge.
You're getting all this momentum, and then that happens. Just imagine if you didn't get that red card. I think momentum would have still been on Inter's side, and they could have gone on for a second goal. But look, it's challenges like that ruin the game as well, ruin the momentum of the team. And look, his studs were up, and you can't argue with that. If his studs weren't up, and let's say he went for the ball, and then the player just ran into him straight away, and they gave it, I would have been like, all right, you know what? It's not a foul. But look, when studs are showing, it's something else. It's not debatable.
Look, this is a debate that could go on. Yes, Yanni. Go. Yeah.
So I just want to say one thing on Jacobson's little comment there. Like, I do like what that statement that he just said. Like, the laws of the game state the tackle cannot be dangerous. That's fair enough. But like nowadays, how do you define dangerous? Because in my opinion, because I'm a midfielder, so like I do a bit of tackling myself. Like, everything, like even if it's the cleanest slide tackle, that still can cause an injury. It's a physical contact game. It's a contact sport. So then, what I'm trying to get at is like, I'm not saying you should be just cleaning up players, but hey, if you win the ball, you win the ball. But it's certain situations like that with Alexis Sanchez where he did win the ball. He got it first, but he just cleaned up afterwards without any intention. So we would know what dangerous means back 20 years ago, because most of the challenges were dangerous anyway, but they'd be like that one challenge where you'd go, okay, that's a bit much. Example, Roy Keane against Erling Haaland's dad,
I was gonna mention that.
That's what you call a bit dangerous, right? But nowadays, like, how do you define dangerous, right? It was more than enough for the ref to give that stupid penalty away in the Sydney derby, and we were there, boys, for that one. Oh, dangerous challenge, penalty. You call that dangerous? The bloke ran into the defender and flopped like a potato. But hey, dangerous. It's a penalty, right? So I think football has just completely forgotten about the actual definition of dangerous in football. Sorry, I had a
Look,
bit of a voice crack there, but
no, it's all
yeah,
good.
go on.
Look, this is a debate that we could have for hours, if not weeks, about multiple rules. It's dangerous tackles, handballs, offsides, everything in football. But we'll move on just to wrap up the show.
Yeah.
There are second half of the Champions League round of 16s on today. 3 out of the 4 games that are remaining, the scores are level and aggregate. Obviously, Chelsea were expected to cruise through with their 2-0 lead against Lille. But the remaining games, Juventus, Villarreal, Ajax, Benfica, and our boys United against Atletico Madrid. Yanni, I'll get your thoughts on the games first before me and Val do a very quick, I stress very quick, preview on the Atletico.
Okay, United v Atletico.
Or any of the games, but if you want to talk about United Atletico first, sure.
Yeah, no, I'll talk about that because I mean I love Ronaldo and what he can do against Atletico Madrid. If you guys get the Ronaldo that just played against Tottenham, you guys are going to go through. But
Yeah.
like we said, when you have that flop at the back, yeah, look, it's going to be a bit of it'll be a close one. It'll be a really close game. But I reckon, to give a little quick prediction for that game, yeah, I might say Atletico might nick it.
Look, I'll keep mine short, my predictions short and sweet before I take it to Val. Look, we can talk about how bad United have been this year. The reality is Atletico have been just as bad, and for most of the season have been in the same league position as United in La Liga, which is a much weaker league than the Premier League.
Yeah.
And for that reason, and it was evident in the first league whereby Atletico had so many chances in that first half where if they were more clinical, they could have been 2 or 3-0 up at half time. Ultimately, United's second half performance, I think we did deserve the draw out of that game, and I do think we will take the momentum from the second half of the first leg and the win against Tottenham, and I do think we will just scrape through. And just for the sentiment, I'm going to say 2-1 Ronaldo scores a double. Val?
Yeah, I'm going to make it short and sweet as well. I think we're going to win. Like Yanni said before, if Ronaldo shows up like he did against Tottenham, I think we'll go through. But look, it's going to be a hard game. The defense needs to be on top, needs to be 100%. But I'm hoping I'd say a 1-0 win, Ronaldo.
Right, Val. Very quickly, Lindelof Maguire, Varane Lindelof, or Varane Maguire. Which one are we going to see?
I'm hoping we're going to see Varane Lindelof, but it's probably going to be Maguire Varane.
Look, well, hopefully it's, as you said, hopefully it's Varane Lindelof, but ultimately I just don't see a scenario where actually, you know what, I've got a weird feeling Maguire might be dropped for this game, but ultimately that's the show for us tonight. As always, thank you to our sponsors, Cheat Day Sydney, Apollo Entertainment Canberra, and New Genesis, and as well as our new partners, Player 11 Store. Go check them out. We've put the links to them on our Instagram pages and our Facebook page. Val, take us out.
Yeah, look, thank you so much, boys, for joining us. Thank you to everyone that tuned in as well. Make sure to like, subscribe, and follow our Instagram and socials. A lot of things will be coming up later on. But yeah, look, great show, great small segment as well. And we'll be back in the next couple of days as well for another one. All right, boys. Have a good night. Take care, everyone.
Thank you so much, guys. Appreciate it.
See you later.